go. Hit that subscribe, hit that like. Let's craft the day and light the night. Georgie's Gorgeous Gifts, run by Tony, it's true. We're making magic just for...
So in today's video, we're going to be having a look at this hot foil pen and also this magic marbling art kit from Amazon. So enjoy. First of all, we're going to start off on card. So this is the hot foil pen. Inside, it comes with the pen, it comes with a charger, USB charger, and it comes with one roll of foil. Now, I'm not mad keen on that colour, and you can see I have tried to have a go here, and it did sort of work. We're going to be reviewing and having a go at this foil quill pen. Now, I've literally, I've had it about 6 months, but I've only had a bit of a mess with it for about 20 minutes because I didn't really know how to use it. I've since had a look at various YouTube videos and you know, try to get a little bit of background before I do this video. But we're just going to go for it. So first of all, we're going to try it on card, which is basically what this hot foil pen is for. Then we're going to try it on some resin, and we're also going to try it on some eco pour as well. So I've got these cute little stencils that we're going to use with them. Sorry about that, I had to stop then because next door was using his hedge cutter that was extremely loud. So you've got this foil pen included, and I have bought, because in true Tony fashion, I don't do things by halves, a 12-piece hot foils rolls. Oh, it just says compatible with all hot foil plates and dies. Again, hot foil plates and dies. I haven't got a clue, but we're not going to go into that today. But we are going to use this gorgeous multicolour hot foil. I'm going to try it on the card first. So let's pick out a stencil. As you can see here, I've got a wide variety of stencils, animals and trees and flowers and letters, all sorts that I've collected along the way. So I'm just going to pick out one to use. I have got my cutting mat to use so that I've got a decent surface to work on, and we've got some papers and cards here. So they're just literally pieces of coloured card. So we're going to pop our stencil on the card, and we're going to use some masking tape to stick the stencil down. So I'm just making sure that this stencil is really secure by popping 3 pieces of, this is just normal masking tape, onto each end and then onto the bottom. So this was my first mess up of the day. I'd forgot to put the hot foil in between the stencil and the card. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. I'm just cutting up the hot foil and I'm just popping the stencil back over it. So I'm just making sure that it's fully flat and that the stencil rests completely flat on top of the foil and the card, and then sticking it back down with some more masking tape. Now, there are different types of foils available, and there are nail foils, but you work backwards with them, so you literally turn them the wrong way round in order to pop them on your piece. These ones you work from the front. So there's a USB port at the one side, and it is the old type Samsung chargers. I'm sure we've got loads of them lying about. Right, so while that's heating up, just going to leave that to heat up for a while. It doesn't come with a stand of any sort, but yeah, this piece here gets really, really hot, so be careful not to touch that. So we're just going to give that 5 minutes to heat up, and then I'll be back. Now at this point, next door decides that he wants to start trimming his trees with his hedge cutter. So I thought, right, that's going to make my life so much more difficult because now I'm going to have to voice over it. The one day I haven't got the babby and my big uns have got her. Yeah, he's gardening and doing all sorts, so the noise is horrendous. Anyway, enough of my ranting. I'm just using the hot foil pen just to go all over this stencil. I am going quite hard with this one. Like I say, I'm not used to using it. and for some reason the colour wasn't really coming off the foil. You'll find out why very shortly. So I'm just going in all the little gaps and grooves with this stencil and making sure that everything is covered. So I'll speed this bit up for you. So after going through all this stencil, just the ladybug at the minute, I then take the stencil off to check it. And to be honest, I was really disappointed with what I found. But again, you'll see why shortly. And I don't know whether I was using this right. If anybody's used one of these pens, let me know in the comments. So, you can see there, it is a bit patchy and squiggly. So we're going to try and fix that with the next one. See if we can make a difference. So again, I'll fast forward you through this because I am literally doing exactly the same and going just round all the stencil. But this time I'm going with a bit of a lighter touch and a bit of a smoother motion. And it was quite relaxing, quite therapeutic, to be honest with you. So I thought I'd just try doing the wings of this one just in one movement, just to see if that would make a difference. And I'm laughing because, yeah, you'll never believe what I was doing. It's not going to make a lot of difference. You're still going to get that scratchiness in it. And I suppose that looks a bit better. Right, let's try it on resin. See if that makes a difference. Try it on this domino kit box. These are glow-in-the-dark dominoes. They're so cool. And we're going to do, I love this stencil, the sheep. So for this I'm going to use the green foils because the tub is actually green, glow-in-the-dark green, as you can see. And I did make this myself. I'm trying to get the tape off it. You'd think they would just put different coloured tape on it, wouldn't you, so that you can actually see it. So my brain is going, why isn't this working properly? So I thought, right, what if I'm doing it wrong? So I thought I'd try doing it this way up, just in case I was doing it completely wrong. So I thought, right, I'll try it this way on the card first because it's meant for use on card. So again, I'm going to speed you through this because you don't need to see it again. But at this point I'm trying to think of all the reasons why this wasn't working. Right, let's see that. No, so it doesn't work at all like that in any way, shape or form, although it has given quite a cool sort of stencil in the paper. I was quite impressed with this, so I cut it out into a square. So my head was going again like mad, what could you use this for? So you could use it on maybe a coaster, or I've got big stencils and I could do it on a tray maybe. So here lies the issue. I've popped the stencil onto the green foil and I looked at my pen and thought, the light isn't on. Has that been the same all the way through? Do you want to know the funny thing? Is that first lot that I've done there, the pen wasn't even on because the charger wasn't working. So I've now plugged it in properly and the charger is now working. So yeah, these are the kind of things that my life is full of. Honestly, it's not all polished and done because you wouldn't believe the amount of editing that I do. But this is the reason why I do so much editing. And I know they say not to touch the end, but I had to because I needed to feel whether it was hot, and it wasn't. And now it is. So let's try this again, shall we? Now I could have gone back and done the whole video again, but I wasn't prepared to do that. It is now Tuesday and the video's due out tomorrow night. But yeah, this was so much simpler. So again, I'm going to speed this up for you. And now it's working the way it should, and all the colour seems to be coming off. Whether it's going to work on resin, I still don't know. And see, not again. At this point, you can really hear the frustration in my voice because I'm thinking, what am I doing wrong? Surely this should go on resin, no problem. So I thought, right, let's scratch a little bit harder and see if we can get all the colour off the foil and see if that makes a difference. I mean, it is working, but not very well. You can actually hear the frustration in my voice again. So I thought, right, one last time, and I went over this really, really hard, although I did forget to do his face. And this seemed to make a difference. You can see not much, but there is a difference compared to the other one. It's going to take a lot. I mean, you can see that one's slightly better. So I thought, right, enough of trying to do it on resin. Let's have a go and see if it works any better on EcoPore. So for this one, I'm going to use the Panda stencil, and we're going to go with the black foil. See if a darker colour makes a difference. I'm just popping the black foil down and popping the stencil on top of it. I just thought I'd hold it down with my fingers rather than taping it this time, and it worked just as well. So again, I'm not going to put you through this, so I'll speed through it. But as I've said earlier, it's a lot easier. Now it's actually hot. See if that's worked. Well, see, that's kind of cute, and I think if I took a little bit more time, but we're never going to get rid of these scratch marks. That's the bit that I don't like. So I thought, what if the picture is too big? Let's try on a smaller picture. So I brought out the letter stencils and decided to write the word panda underneath this panda. There we go. Yeah, so see, it looks much better for the writing, I'd say, than it does for the actual full big stencils. But yeah, I mean, it definitely works better on EcoPore than it does on resin. So I thought, now the pen is actually working, I'll try it on the card one more time to see if it makes a difference. Yeah, so that works a lot better on card now it's hot. So really, it's for card. We can use it on EcoPore. Yeah, so all in all, I'm not impressed. I'm not. It doesn't do what I wanted it to. But it has its place in the craft room, I think. Particularly if we were to do it like that. I quite like that effect. I could cut it out with a rotary tool, a bit smaller, and then, like I say, pop it on as a piece. I've got massive stencils that I could do with it like that, and then pop it onto a tray. I think that would look really cool. Yeah, that's my review on it. Good or bad, mistakes and all. Next up, we're going to be looking at something completely different. So this is something that I've bought. It's Magic Marbling Art. Yeah, it's for ages 6+, but it's a marbling kit, a paint marbling kit. So we're going to have a look at that. So let me just tidy this lot up and I'll be back. So, like I say, I've just opened this. I haven't even looked to see what's in it yet. So we've got some marbling ink, paints, we've got paintbrush, we've got a comb, we've got some pipettes, we've got some tweezers and a spoon. What this is, I don't know. We'll have to have a look at the instructions. I think this might be glow in the dark. Art lights up after life, yeah. It says to make the solution in a bottle. It says put the 2-spoon powder into a bottle, add 500 ml of water, screw on the cap, shake well, and wait for about 6 hours until fully dissolved. But as I haven't got 6 hours, we're not going to bother with the glow powder this time. Okay, so there is a few troubleshooting things there, because guaranteed it's not going to go 110% right. I don't know. Does it say how much water to use? So it's come with loads of different paper and this handy little tray. So I'm just filling this up with water. I used about 350 ml total, just to go 3/4 of the way up this tray. And then we're going to get our paints off with yellow, green and blue. Let me just shake these paints up. Right. So it says 2 to 3 centimetres away and drop 1 to 2 drops in. Oh wow. So why didn't that bottom one spread then? Wow, look at that.
As you can hear, I am well impressed with this.
Drop a bit of the green in. That is amazing. I don't understand why that first drop didn't drip, but how the colours separate and push away from each other. That's brilliant. Right, let's add a little bit more purple.
Now you haven't really got a lot of control over this, because the ink spreads so much and pushes out in various different ways. You can only sort of choose your pattern so much, but I really like that. I mean, one drop and it just pushes the other colours out. Then we're going to use the different tools to move it about and create some sort of pattern. So I'm literally just dropping the inks in bit by bit, and in true Tony fashion, I never know when to stop. Never know when to stop, and probably should have stopped a long time before I did, but I just kept adding the inks because it was just really cool the way it was moving and the patterns that it was creating, and the way that the colours were sort of separating into each other. It really impressed me, and I was a bit fascinated by it actually. This could actually be my new obsession. It really could, because I was really impressed with the end result and how it turned out. Now again, because this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, I had to go for the big tool first. So we've gone for the comb, and I am literally just dragging it through the inks. Now it wasn't really doing an awful lot, and I think that's the whole point really, because when I started to really move it, as you can see, it's going sort of oily and bitty, and yeah, and that's why I say I should have just left it about here, but no, I've got to keep going.
So I think a drop of orange needs to go into that. We've got orange, blue, red, purple, yellow, green and blue.
In all my wisdom, I needed the orange in it. It just needed a little bit more colour. So I've added the orange, and again, that spread lovely. And I get my comb again and start messing. And this is where it starts to become again even more bitty.
Right, again, I don't know when to stop, do I? Right, I'm just going to place the paper on there. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Again, I'm not that well organised, and it did say to have a pin or something to lift the corner of the paper, which of course I didn't have. But oh my God, look at that. I was absolutely gobsmacked at the results. I loved it.
I'm just going to pop that out the way flat to dry. And look, we've now got a clean surface. So let's give it another go. Now this, I am really impressed with. Really, really impressed. I think this was about £8 off Amazon. I couldn't wait to get it off Temu.
Now, unlike any other paints, if you were to pop blue and then yellow, you would make green. With this, it doesn't. It just separates. I mean, look at that. Not a bit of green in sight. So I don't know what kind of paints these are. And like even again, adding that pink, it would usually muddy. But yeah, this just didn't. I was really, really gobsmacked, honestly, and there's not a lot that surprises me after years of crafting and doing resin, etc. But I was surprised that I'd never tried this before. And this is something that you can do with kids. Like I say, it's from age 6 and above. So the paint is clearly non-toxic. But yeah, I'll have to look into exactly what type of paints these are. Now, this bit was blobbing and didn't start to spread like the first original yellow drop that I did. So I thought, right, let's see if we can make it spread a little bit. Again, I should have left it alone because you can see where that's turning orange and is mixing into the yellow, and that's not what I want. So I pop a little bit more green into it, and that just amazes me, one tiny drop and how much colour. So these tubs will last me absolutely ages. At this point I'm wondering what else this could be used on, so I'm thinking maybe a canvas, and whether that would work if I just dipped on a bigger tray and just dipped the surface of the canvas in, and then we could coat it with resin and maybe some glitter around the edges or jazz it up a little bit that way. But yeah, honestly, this kit was so worth the money. I have got an Amazon wish list that this will be in, so or lists on my Amazon site, which is linked below in the description, and that will take you to everything I use for resin, everything I've bought off Amazon, my wish list if you'd like to support my channel in any way. Obviously, just watching to the end is all the support I need, but if you do want to support my channel further, there is a link to buy me a coffee and, as I say, my Amazon wish list. But yeah, I was loving the combination of these colours together. So I'm just popping the paper on as I did before, and this time I got the little stick to take the corner. But if you're going to do this, the paper really needs to be flat. This piece for some reason had lifted on the edges, but look at that pattern. It's absolutely stunning, and it dried within about 4 hours, which again I was amazed at. So yeah, we've got one product that I'm not mad keen on, and we've got one that I absolutely love. Here is a picture of the box again, just in case you want to have a look. I will drop the links in the description below, with some lovely discount codes. Yeah, and I hope you like this video. I've been Tony from Georgie's Gorgeous Gifts. Stay safe, happy crafting, and bye for now.
Hit that subscribe, hit that like. Let's craft the day and light the night. Georgie's Gorgeous Gifts, run by Tony, it's true. We're making magic just for you. Pour the resin smooth and slow. Watch it sparkle, watch it flow.